this video, I want to talk about Excel Scenario Manager, which has some really good features and some really bad features, as we'll see. And my file is scenariotemp.xlsx. I spelled scenario wrong, but I'm not going to worry about it. But here you see a spreadsheet that we've discussed when we talked about tracing precedence and dependence. So we have the NPV for a new product that sells for 5 years. We have a bunch of inputs up here, but let's just focus on year one sales, annual percentage sales growth, and year one price. So a very common thing to do in business is do a best case, worst case, and most likely scenario for many inputs. There could be 10 inputs, there could be 5 inputs, whatever. Okay. And so what I've done is made up 3 scenarios for this product. The best case is we'll sell $20,000, and this should be units. Okay. This shouldn't be. Sorry. So I'll change this. Again, I like control 1. It just, I don't have to think. I can go number, 0 decimal points. Okay. So best case is we'll sell 20,000 units the first year. We'll grow at 28% a year, and we'll charge $10 the first year. Worst case is we'll sell only 10,000. We'll grow at 10% a year. We'll charge $750 the first year. Most likely case is we're going to sell, sorry, this one should be the worst case. And this is the most likely. Okay, so the most likely case is selling 10,000, growing at 10% a year, charge $750. The worst case is we'll sell 5,000, grow at 2% a year, and we'll basically charge $5 the first year. So what we'd like to do is have a summary of the net present value, that's this cell, and perhaps the profit each year after tax, that's these cells, for each of the input scenarios for a presentation. So it'd be really nice if we could have a nice looking table that for each of these scenarios would show us the value of the inputs and basically show us these output cells. And that's what Scenario Manager does. But you have to manually input the scenarios. Like, I'd love to be able to just point to these cells and say these are my inputs, but that just doesn't work. You have to manually put in the scenarios. Okay. But then there are some really nice features. The table looks very nice, and you can do sort of a show and tell show like you did in elementary school. Basically, you can click on a scenario and you can just show basically all the inputs change, and then you can see what happens to the outputs. The nice thing is, if the inputs are separated from the outputs, the inputs can change automatically, and you can see how the outputs change without having to go in manually in one part of the spreadsheet and change the inputs and then look at another part to see the outputs. Okay, so let's create a scenario. So you go Data, What If Analysis, Scenario Manager, No Scenarios, choose to add scenarios. Okay, so let's do the best case. So we'll do the best case. Now, what are the cells that change? That's going to be these 3. If I name them, the names would show up in the report. Okay, now if I click OK, it's going to ask for the values. So it starts with the current values, but I want to change those. So the best case is 20,000, and it's going to be sales growth of 20% and a year one price of $10. Okay, now I want to add another one. Okay, so let's say most likely. And there we've got year one sales are 10,000. See, the manual entry is really a pain, especially if there's like 10 input cells. Okay, and this would be 7.5. Okay, now let's check the best case. I think I might have put something in there wrong. Okay. So the best case was 20,000, no, 0.2, and $10. So that's okay. All right. So got a most likely. Let's add one more. Let's add that worst case. And the worst case would be 5,000, 2% growth, and we'll charge $5. Okay, so now we're done. I've got these 3 scenarios. Okay, so I want a summary report. Okay, so the question is, what are the result cells? So I want the NPV, then I'll put a comma, and I want each year's after-tax profits. And I don't care about a pivot table report. I've never used those. But now I get in a different worksheet the nice summary. Okay, it gives me, or basically, the current values that we started with, the best case, the most likely, and the worst case. It gives me here's my NPV. You can see the worst case has the worst NPV, the most likely in the middle, and the best case has the best NPV. Okay, so that's very nice. Now the final nice thing you can do, if you go back to scenario, what if analysis, scenario manager, okay, notice the current values are showing. But if I click on best and I click show, it's like show and tell. The best case values will now go into the yellow cells. And I see the really good NPV. And I click on the worst case and click show, it shows me the really bad NPV. So I think that's a brief introduction to Scenario Manager, but honestly, I don't think it deserves more than the 4 or 5 minutes we spent on it. It would be really nice if you could type the inputs in the spreadsheet and then just select them by clicking on the cell range rather than manually inputting them, but you can't, so I just don't think it's that great. Okay, we will see you in our next video where we'll learn about some really cool functions, COUNTIF and COUNTIFS.
Okay, so thanks for watching, and there's a free course, a free 21-day course from Dr. Winston, and all of these videos are coming from one of 3 books. So first, this one, which you can see here at the top of the screen, Microsoft's book, which has 355 reviews, and then it's, let's see, 4.6 stars. It's coming from this book as well, his marketing analytics book, which is down here, and you can sort of see 4.5, or his newest book, his analytics stories book, which is here. And with that one, you can see it's 4 point something, or maybe even 5. I don't think it's 5. Yeah, 4.8. And so, yeah, anyways, in the description, there's a free 21-day course from Dr. Winston, or you can go to excelwithwayne.com/free, and it'll be there. But again, thanks for watching, and if you have any questions, just please let us know. Thanks.